Alright, guys, today we're gonna be reacting to She Tries to Tone Police Andrew Wilson and instantly regrets it. Let's jump in.
Andrew, explain why you believe tone and delivery aren't important in debate. I understand it doesn't change the logic of your argument, but acting as though it doesn't matter is literally...
The only reason that you think that is because it's women being made uncomfortable. If this was the tone with men, which would take all the time, you'd be in the audience cheering me like you probably already have. It's only because it's women being made uncomfortable, and that makes you a simp, sir.
No, he just understands that women don't understand things at a certain tone. Like,
It sounds like you understand it fine.
well, no, a lot of women though. I was raised by a single father.
All right,
so
you just
different.
so
Like,
you're
and I
capable
don't
of rationality,
understand-
just most
no,
women
and
aren't.
I still don't understand. A lot of times, if you approach a woman emotionally or in a tone that
My
sounds
arguments
emotional,
aren't for you. It's for the thousands of people watching.
Yeah,
I
but-
don't care if I change your mind or not.
No,
Damn,
but the
that
fact
was
is,
cold.
if you approach
Wow, that was cold. Andrew is not a simp, though. You guys have to understand this. Andrew is not a simp. And a lot of guys are part of this great community are still simping.
a conversation
Still
with
simping.
a certain tone that is offensive to women, most of their brains turn off. It's
Good.
like, but they're
It's
the ones
because-
that need to learn.
Well,
It's because-
they're not going to listen. Do you think that there's anything that I can say to a woman who's a libertarian feminist to explain to her that she's actually a libertarian feminist and not a right-wing conservative, regardless of my f***ing tone? No, there's nothing I could say.
Your
Well,
actions
here's the
don't-
thing. There's nothing I can say to a condescending asshole
You can.
to tell
Damn, Weaver. She didn't age well, folks. Weaver, I used to follow her. Back in 2016, 2017, not anymore. Man, she really aged badly, man.
I'm not a feminist and he'll
You can
believe
say
it.
it all you
So-
want, but
I mean, Jesus did it. I mean, Jesus
Look at it.
went to people and with his words.
yeah,
as
and he
well,
called them
and
pit of vipers, and he called them Pharisees, and he ran them out of temple after he
he didn't
fashioned a
talk to
whip.
women like that.
How do you know
Yes.
when he talked to women
The
like?
big- what
You
we
mean when he
saw in
told
the
a woman
Bible's
to
examples, we didn't see that.
listen.
I don't
Moving
see
back-
how you're convincing.
He didn't.
Is
Jesus
anyone
didn't
here at
talk to
this
women in
table
a mean way.
convinced
I don't
by
care if I
you?
convince
Like,
you. It's not
you're
for you. My
convincing
arguments
anybody.
aren't to
Convincing,
convince
it's
you.
about-
They're to refute your arguments.
I like the way that he speaks. I feel like it gives me more leeway to be meaner back.
Good.
When it comes to arguing.
that's
By the way, that's also
But
part of
that's why it
entertainment.
is a problem, though, because I
That's part of
understand that
entertainment.
I'm a very masculine woman because of, no dad. So I'm very
Wow.
comfortable with acting that way. However,
Good.
lots of other
Wow.
women, like she has just said, are scared of retaliation from men and are scared of talking to men in a similar tone
It's
if
not-
that tone is taken.
So they're
out
afraid
against
I'm
them.
gonna-
About, it's
wait,
not.
wait.
What I said has nothing to do with
You think
feelings.
you
But, like,
think they think I'm gonna go beat him up?
No.
Like what are you
no,
talking
but
about?
No. But over time, that's kind of something that's naturally ingrained in you. It's like I said with the male gaze. Maybe you're not going to beat me up, but like 200 years ago, you would have stoned me to death, and
What?
that tends to travel over decades. And
It does.
What? Stone you to death 200 years ago, when in the 19th century. Okay.
society,
All right.
we
Your
tend to
ancestor
know.
maybe
Wow.
possibly getting stoned to death 1,000 years ago means
You
something
know
to you
that's
now.
not my
Generational
point.
trauma.
No, I don't know
that's
what
not my
that.
point.
That's not your
My
point. That
is
was the point you just
my
made.
point is that in general, women
No.
are less likely to talk back.
The
to
thing
male.
that
My point
here's the
is,
thing.
why would a man speak to a
Most women.
witch
Here's the
knowing
truth.
that
Most
she's
Women are
women
less
are
likely to insult a
never.
man.
Most women are never made to
Right.
feel uncomfortable
That's
by a
my
man,
question.
and so when they are, a lot of women panic and freak the fuck
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
But
Whereas a
lot
man in that
of
situation would
men-
attack back.
A lot of men
mean, a lot of men on
also
this podcast
panic
wouldn't
and
speak
freak
like this
out.
if they're
But
fucking
I don't understand if the feminist egalitarian belief is that we're fucking equal and interchangeable widgets, then be uncomfortable.
That's
be
what
made
I'm doing.
uncomfortable.
If we're
That's what
not
I'm doing.
equal,
I'm saying I'm
And you're the
disagreeing
only
with
part
this.
of this that's been entertaining so far.
I think that
That's
you kind of represent like what is the polar opposite to the feminists in a opposite end of the spectrum where
Good.
the feminists represent a very radicalized toxic version of femininity, and what you're representing is
Is
a very
toxic masculinity.
No,
Go
a
ahead.
Go
Go ahead.
Radicalized.
Wow.
No, I'm not gonna say that. No.
Wow, Weaver is bad, man. Listen, folks. And this is when they talk about female conservatives. They're not really conservatives, more like a liberal Democrat, like a more moderate Democrat. That's what they are. She's supposed to be the right wing of this conversation. Look at her.
No, you are representing a very radicalized version of what it is to be a man,
If I'm on-
and you are speaking in such a way that is very condescending.
If I'm on the extreme end of toxic femininity, that would make it what? Finish the sentence for me. Toxic masculinity.
Oh, look
right?
at her,
If
bro.
that's the
She
extreme
looks
end
old.
to the toxic feminist. Wouldn't that be toxic masculinity?
What you're essentially espousing here are what I'm getting at is very radical beliefs.
No, they're not
that
radical
aren't
beliefs.
in line.
What makes them
with-
radical?
They're not in the middle and they're not in line.
Is the
with
only thing
center.
that makes a
and
thing-
most people's belief sets are you would say the majority of the population's belief sets are going to be in that center range, and then you have some of the people who are like super ultra radical on both
What do
sides
you
of the
say
argument.
about people
but
who
I would say
say-
that they're both
Damn, she cannot be quiet,
Andrew,
bro.
may
and
I
they end
please
up
ask
being
you a
both
question?
toxic to the new.
Look at this dude right here. See, this is where they don't take your show serious. You know what I'm saying? When you have stupid people like this, I don't know what they're doing, but this is what take this kind of show not serious.
Clear family.
Yeah. What do you think that? Do you think that people who call Alex Jones's beliefs radical are correct?
What?
Probably. I want
What's
to
the
hear Eden's
point?
question.
You know, I
Let's go, Andrew.
want to
Let's
answer
go,
mine.
Andrew.
Do you think that people who call Alex Jones's beliefs radical are
We're
correct?
not talking about Alex
The
Jones.
reason I bring Alex Jones up and his beliefs and whether or not they're radical is because there's millions upon millions of people who say that they're radical beliefs. Are they wrong? And just calling something radical, by the way, leftist tactic, just calling my beliefs radical
you can
without
talk
refuting
about-
them.
I can refute it.
Then refute them.
I'm trying to explain right now is there's more centric beliefs, and then there's beliefs that you would see on opposite sides
It's
of
an
a
argument ad
spectrum.
populum.
An opposite side of a spectrum.
That's an
okay?
argument ad populum.
But what I would say is that both sides, when you're way too much on this crazy deranged I hate men spectrum versus this other very degrading I hate women spectrum.
But you're not there for that. See, this is what she's missing. You're not there to just cater to the middle and go to the middle. You're not there to do that. You're there to defeat the other side that's creating all this mess. If you're supposed to be in the conservative side, if you're in the conservative side but you're arguing just go in the middle, you are falling short because the other side is not even meeting you in the middle. You're meeting them in their middle.
Hey, women. Where did you ever come up with that?
Well, you're saying women shouldn't be able to vote.
Why does that mean
and
that you hate them?
Andrew, can I ask you
Okay.
a
Do you think
question real
felons
quick?
should
the
be
way
able to
you-
vote?
The way you
Do you
talk
think
to the
felons
women-
should be able to vote?
Listen, you're talking about.
Does that mean you hate them?
You're talking about the questions you're pointing at. All the women on this table here are very much about your values based on your looks.
That's right.
Rate yourself
No.
1 to 10.
Those aren't
you
even my
know,
questions.
And then
Yeah, those are
you
my
shouldn't be
questions.
able
Those
to
are his
vote.
questions.
Those are my questions.
You shouldn't be able to have
Wow,
a say
Weaver.
I don't
in
know where he
government.
came
You
up with the
shouldn't be able to
idea.
have a role.
I
in
don't give a
government.
shit how any of you look. I'm just here for the arguments. I could give a less.
He doesn't give a.
I don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
So why was it such a big issue
Wow.
to try to essentially?
Because you took
ask
a
us about our
position that I
numbers?
found absurd, so I argued
Okay.
it.
And
Yeah.
can I ask
That's
you?
fine, but here's the problem with when
She
You think when I-
cannot be quiet. Wow, she cannot be quiet. She's prattling right now. She cannot land the plane right now. She's just throwing a lot of words, but she cannot concise her point of view. She just wanted to keep talking.
do debates with
Females-
women, I come out and go, now how would you rate yourself? I don't give a fuck how they look.
He
I'm
doesn't
here
care.
to do a
I
debate.
feel like you guys are talking in circles. Can she ask her question?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
go
I
ahead.
feel like we're gonna finish the argument real quick. Hang on. So back to
not
this.
gonna
We're almost done.
Do you believe in democracy?
No.
Oh.
Can we take a vote?
This shit test.
So can we get back to
See, all this is a shit test. See, they're shit testing his frame. You see how they just jump in during the conversation? She cannot handle it. They can see that. Therefore, they want to protect her. For those folks that don't really understand what's going on, that's why they jump in and they say, "Can I ask you a question?" And this happens a lot with the French and Fit. When the females get caught up in a bad argument, they don't have a comeback. You will see their friends just jumping in.
I
That's
would
what
say
is going
not
on.
believing in the
Argument-
Constitution
an
in the
argument
United
ad-
States is kind of radical.
An
but
argument ad populum.
me.
Well, it was in the Constitution that we had slavery. Did you believe in the Constitution then?
I've always believed in the Constitution.
Except
No.
for the.
I didn't
did you
believe
believe
in
in the
slavery.
slavery? Oh, you didn't. So you don't believe in the Constitution.
Well,
You didn't believe in the Constitution.
so you believed in slavery?
No, of course not.
Okay.
But you're making the argument to me. I don't believe in the Constitution. When
Well,
I
you
put it right
said
back
that.
on you, neither do you. So who cares?
Okay, thank you. So I wanted to ask you, So
I do believe in the Constitution, by the way. Sorry.
Just as
No,
it's
it's
written
okay.
right now. It's perfect right now.
Yes.
Like,
Go ahead.
for instance,
Don't let him interrupt you.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh,
I just
man,
wanted to ask
bro.
this, and
And Brian just let it slide, bro. Brian literally just let it slide. This is not good. So Brian had to check her. I know we were supposed to have a little bit more value when it comes down to social media presence, but he needs to have some balls. Say, hey, no, you cannot do that. Hey, let's not cross that line. Like, let's just show some respect. But he cannot do that.
I wanted
Doesn't
to
have
come
the
at this
balls.
from a Christian perspective because I'm genuinely really curious. I'm not trying to like back you into a corner or anything. I'm genuinely curious. So a lot of times on this show, I've seen a lot of girls who claim to be Christian. They come on here and they're like, oh yeah, you know, I'm on OF or I'm doing X, Y, and Z thing, and you know, you or someone else points out, well, that's kind of conflicting, right?
Sure.
So do you think that sometimes that your delivery can be kind of conflicting with Christian values? I know that Jesus
yeah,
flipped the
that's what I
tables
was
and
saying.
everything, but I think there is a time and a place, and I think there is a way to conduct yourself.
Tone policing.
I know that
That's
being
where they come.
polite, you know, it's and debates don't really go together a lot of times.
Would you
but
be nice to a
You said it better
Satanist?
than me.
Yes, of course.
And would you be nice to Satan?
There we go.
That's
Got
a
you.
good
Got you.
question.
Got you. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. See? They think because it's true. That comment was showing some truth. It's saying some truth. Because as a Christian, we can hit him. We can just bash him. We can use him as a sandbag. But when you put it back into Satan, they can't. Because they fear him. See, this is the problem. A lot of people fear the bad, right? It doesn't fear God. You have these kind of lunatics just going around.
Love the sinner and hate the sin.
There
That's
is a
nowhere in
certain
the
way.
Bible. You just made it up.
No, that is in the Bible.
No, where?
That is in the Bible.
Where?
Yeah.
Well,
In chapter,
There
you
you
just made it the.
no, I didn't.
Yeah,
Earlier,
you did.
earlier you said wait, I have
Hold
something
up.
to say.
Hold
Earlier,
up. Let's find
earlier-
out if you're right.
I mean, I don't have my.
I
phone
would-
in
Andrew,
front of me,
No,
so I
we'll
can't.
pull it up.
Andrew, please.
Chat, what's it
Earlier you
called?
said
Chapter?
that.
You just made it the Is that what that's
Chapter, you just made it.
Drew, earlier you said that patriarchies have historically protected women. Can you cite something for me, or chat? Did you just make that?
Yes, I can. Actually, here's a great example of it. Have you ever heard of the Byzantine Empire?
Yes.
Well, who ran it?
Constantine.
Okay, great.
Bitch.
Constantine. Did Constantine put in a code?
Hold on.
Probably
wait,
put
wait.
up the law.
Can we not do name calling? Let's not do name
Did Constantine
calling.
put in a code?
Oh, but he can call me
I was gonna
names.
say he can belittle.
Yeah.
all
What was
of
it?
us.
Nobody.
Probably there was
runs
probably
the
something
show.
about not women, but they probably still shit out of all the
Oh,
women.
they probably did, huh? Based on you just made it up. Based on you just made the fuck up.
Yeah,
Did you do
but you don't have evidence for your point either.
I do have evidence. We just agreed
What's the
Constantine
law? What's the law that
put
he made?
in
What was the
a
law?
code. So
What was the code?
so here, Constantine, after he took or converted over, inside of the Byzantine Empire, yes, of course, there was a doctrine that women were to be protected. And the reason that this happened is because one of the great assets when it comes to wartime is to make sure that your women are
Can you
protected.
tell me the
because-
specific tenets
no,
of
I
the
don't need to
doctrine?
give you
Yeah.
the specific code to
Oh.
note that there is one.
Oh, so it's the you made that shit up chapter?
That's a genetic. What you're making right now is a genetic
I'm
fallacy.
using the same fallacy that you've been using on
What's-
all of us,
what's
which is show me the
fallacious?
exact evidence. Show me the exact
Nope.
date, time, whatever.
When did I say that? On an exacting when it wasn't the position that you
You
postulated.
said that patriarchies have historically protected women.
And I just gave an
that is
example
false.
that you agreed with.
Okay, but that is false in more cases than it
Then
is
give me a
correct.
case where it's false, and we'll argue it.
I hate it so much.
There we go. See, oh man, he's good. He's good. He's good. See, I don't have that skill to debate at that level. I don't have the skill to debate at that level. That's high skill debating, man. That was crazy. Right, you see, Weaver, you should just back off. When you expose them like this, it's very hard to really, because you do have some. I have some fault because I used to just follow her, Weaver. But then during that time, there was a lot of things that happened that it gave me a false impression that a lot of these people, I was just basically following conservative Democrats, like things like that. Like I'm conservative, but let me just be the leader. I'm a female. Let me be the leader of the house, kind of thing. Like, nah. And Andrew, a lot of these manosphere talking point really exposed all that nature. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.